So I got a bunch of fun decks to talk about today that you guys should all enjoy. So without further ado, let's get into Japanese Tuesday, shall we? Soon, very soon, Japanese Tuesday will disappear, guys. It's gonna be sad, but because we are getting to unification, we're all gonna be unified. So it'll be a great way of seeing every deck going on at any given time, from JP to English. So maybe if we start making a hashtag like Digitops or something like that in the future, where we kind of just make this momentum, maybe I'll be able to snag your deck for a future video. So maybe that'll be the way we do it. We'll have to see where I go with my thought process going in the future of how unification is going to affect the usual, JP Tuesday. So Digimon winners from Digimon CG guide, remember, use these. So let's take a quick look. Dukemon's still holding 31 strength here, being the best deck in the Ex-08. Then you have purple good stuff, blue armors, Fenry Luga, purple hybrid, red hybrid, Talmon Loop, Mirage Galgamon, Nature Spirits, 7th grade Demon Lords, Tyrannomon, Plants and Fairies, Secure Setcon, Blue Green Imperial Birds, Terrier, Dark, Deep Save, Nightmare Soldiers, Pyramidmon, Barbamon, Black Hybrid, Crossheart, Sun Moon, Diaboromon, Ice and Snow, Zephigamon, Lucemon, Atamon, Mastemon, Luganmon, is this? Which one is this? Oh, not Luganmon. This is Galacticmon. Blue Flare, red, purple, Imperial Dramon, D-Reaper. Let's even just take a look at this, because this one might be fun to take a look at, right? Let's see what's going on here, bub. So taking a look here, just a good starting fleshed out deck. Kind of seeing nothing out of the ordinary here. So it's worth just taking a look here, because I know a lot of players might be thinking, what card should I be picking up for BT20? Dino B, definitely a snag here. I don't know if we'll be taking this Imperial Dramon or it comes out. Maybe a fighter mode here, and then basically the promo. And outside of that, I would just wait and see. Probably the Vmon and the Wormmon, definitely. And then we're probably getting a whole new line here, so minus the promo. I think this is what we be working with from the start. And the new option is going to be nutty. But other way of doing this is Digimon card meta is another way of looking at this. And we have a lot of decks we pulled from here this time around. But taking a look here, I know a lot of players want to be playing Nightmare Soldiers, and, they want to be playing the Deep Saves, and they want to be playing the, whatchamacallit, Nature Spirits. So I brought some decks this week to take a look at. They've done a little bit good on 6 players and stuff like that. It's not going to be crazy broken, but hey, it works. But looks like we got Piedmon, Baltamon, and then one Mastemon, old school Mastemon, by the way, because you can use these as Jagras pieces as well, which, I mean, hey, if it works, it works, right? They are using Flame Hellsize and Chaos Degradation, which great removals in their own right? So taking that into account, they're also using the option that helps search for their purple and yellow pieces, which, again, for the memory boost, not a bad trade-off, right? They are playing the Salamon from the starter deck, so that's something to keep in mind, because, again, end of turn Jagrasing could mean into Mastemon and or Batamon, so they're both valid Jagrasing. So I kind of get where they're going with it. Maybe it's worth testing this out and seeing where it goes, right? Then we do have Deep Saves. If you guys are thinking about adding Seadramon in it, I don't think I've seen promo Seadramon across the board for Deep Saves at all. So you don't buy a card that's not going to help you in value. So I don't recommend buying the promo Seadramon at all. So something to keep in mind here. Just cards to maybe snag if you are really wanting to play this deck is like the Matt Ishida and the Gabumon. It's just maybe the old school. The rest just come from the set itself, and then the box topper. And then we do have none other than Nature Spirits, with Hercules Kabuterimon, Leomon Ace, and then, you know, there is a Talcamon here at 4. If you can't really see it, I'm sorry, they really botched the shot, but as you can see, Gutsumon, Otamamon, and the Bug Boy himself, Tentomon, and then you play Kabuterimon and all these good stuff. And it does have a great option in the Jade Memory Boost department. And basically with the new support, this deck should be fundamentally very scary to play against. Then we do have Galaxy Suzanomon. I think this one's very interesting for a lot of players because I would never think, you know, in the year of 2025 or even the end of 2024 that we would be playing Suzanomon with Volcanicmon and, you know, Metallicdramon. Who put that on their radar or anything in general? Because I was not expecting Suzanomon coming back. Old school Suzanomon, by the way. Magna Garurumon, very interesting. Just to be place 1 Digimon card as the top security, unsuspend. Place this Digimon as unsuspend, return one of your opponents. I don't know how I feel. Really? I don't know. Place this Digimon's top card as the top security card. So it digivolves, unsuspend this Digimon. I get where they're coming from with this card, just because you can get a multitude of another restand and get an extra damage in. I get it. Has a lot of potential. It can be very scary for your opponent to deal with because, again, a multi-attack. This now focuses strictly on Galaxy, and with Volcanic and Metallic just being in here just to be a threat that even if they remove it, it gets another body out, and Hina just being Hina, really solid. I think this has potential. Maybe we tweak it a little bit. Then we do have Eosmon. Eosmon did something. They are starting to tech Medieval Gallantmon just because of how powerful the card is. Like I said, I don't think Medieval Gallantmon is going to be cheap. I am definitely going in the Death X department for this card. I do not expect anybody to have these at a relatively fair price. Now we definitely have Apocalypse with, you know, its Dark Masters purple hybrid mill, so it's just something to take a look at. I really wanted to look at this deck because sometimes JP really has some way of shape or form. We did see a top in our side, so, you know, in the top finals, it's worth taking a look at what they're kind of doing. They're playing out their deck and their hopes and dreams, right? You know, Warning Shot, Jack Raid, Ancient Protectors. I don't know if I really like Ancient Protectors, but Apocalypse, Pied, Machine, Puppet, and Metal Seedramon all at 1 with a Magna Dramon. Medieval Gallantmon splashing in because why not? This card's, you know, really solid just to even come down, you know, by suspending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4, Alliance and Vortex. You know, this card is going to apply pressure ways that your opponent's not going to enjoy anyway. So, and then just milling them out with another strategy with Apocalypse and with Medieval Gallantmon, kind of just protecting your board as well. Really solid across the board, right? I think we have a lot of potential, and this could lead to being very scary for a lot of players to deal with. So I'm definitely going to be testing out Apocalypse with the Dark Masters. I'm really excited for the deck, so it's just something big on my mind. Taking a look, though, we have Dexteruga. Dexteruga's not changed much, as we're going to say. Dexteruga did decide to add Shadow Seraphimon Ace as another way. Shadow Seraphimon Ace is scary to deal with, especially with a Dexteruga Gray. If you can still Blast Evolve into a Shadow Seraphimon Ace, your opponent's just not going to have a good time. With Purple Scramble at 3 is very interesting, but they are playing 1 Amber Memory Boost. So there's a lot of possibilities and ways you're going to build this deck, but I think we have the best way we're going to see it. So it's worth taking a look here, and I think we can play exactly how we want, right? So I like the one of Ukumon. I feel like we could be a little bit higher on the Ukus, but outside of that, the deck's good. Thank you, Final Fantasy. Then we did have Mother Shoto, purple hybrid version. So it uses BL Star or Bella Star with Duskmon Vulgramon, but you have Mother D Reaper with Shoto, with Etamon, and then, you know, Beelzemon Blast Mode Ace, so your Bella Star or Beelza Star are just gonna be set up where if you need a Blast Evolve immediately afterwards, you can just really make your opponent have a bad time. So with all these great option removals, we're really in a good spot, right? So something to keep in mind in general is the deck has a lot of possibilities, and I like the Akihiko just tech. I think just being able to do nothing with it. Why is this here? Once per turn. Oh, it's just draw filter. Got it. So basically constantly drawing, discarding, right? And when you may suspend the same or draw a card, trash a card. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to get the options in trash as soon as possible and just filter the deck so quickly that their opponent won't have time to answer whatever you're doing. So I kind of see where they're going with it. I like where they're going with it. So the Bella Star can just be looped with Matt Ishida, and with the purple hybrid shenanigans, you just keep doing what you want to do. So I see where they're going with it. Then we do have Leviathan Lord Nightmon getting first place, playing Gates of the Deadly Sins. Very interesting. You know, being able to, at the start of your main phase, place the top card of your Digiegg as that. And then if this effect, you know, bottom Digievolution, delete all your Digimon. I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't want Legos. I didn't say Legos. I don't know how I feel about this. I get what they're trying to do with the Leviathan shenanigans, but like maybe you use the purple scramble, get your stuff up, but I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel. I mean, yes, I get the rush shenanigans that you're going to be trying to do, and then having Levias come in for dirt relatively cheaper is okay, but I don't know if Gated Deadly Sins is the call, right? I think this might have been a typo, because there's no way you would naturally want to play this if you're not playing the full 7 Great Demon Lore package, unless someone can really explain to me why this card is here. Blowing up your little weenie board is not helping you as much as you think, and you don't really have protection, and Lord Nightmon X really wants to swing in, and Levias want to do shenanigans. I mean, the Levias are gonna Levias don't even come in because there's no Bite and Crush. So I don't know why you're playing Gate of the Deadly Sins here. I mean, you're controlling the board, right? But outside of that, what are you doing? So that's what's throwing me off here. And then we do have Millenniumon because, hey, I really like Millenniumon and like talking about it. So let's just say we have Nene, Analog Boy, you know, Garnet Memory Boost, Wicked God of Destruction, Wisdom Trainings, Zeed Millenniumon, and all the good stuff in between. So I think it's just really comes down to players' comfortability and everything like that. But, you know, Millenniumon's going to do Millenniumon things, and the deck's pretty solid across the board. I think even with our card missing, you know, we've been able to adapt and play the deck how we wanted it anyway. So I think this is pretty solid. But, you know, this has been a look at the JP meta for close to Ex-08 time. So, especially since we are ticking down the clock till we're on this format, minus the Gallantmon, because Gallantmon isn't complete until BT19. So, without further ado though, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.